Now let's get on to the next segment. And it was the vignette that that has aired. And man, there's been a lot of speculation about this already. I think it's quite clear who it is. And I think a lot of people are going towards that, but it's someone that a lot of people want it to be. And I don't think it is, but I can understand why people were at first thought it might have been. Now let's get into some of the debate and discussion we had last night on Twitter at RN Pro Wrestling on Twitter. Please follow us if you want to have be involved in these discussions throughout the night, because we usually do live tweeting throughout these big events as well as our build-up shows before them. And I'm just going to get to some of the tweets because, my goodness, Rob, it's still going on to this very day. We've had... Go on.
No, go on. Who you going for?
Right, so we tweeted out just an image of it, and it said the Bray Wyatt / Fiend rumors have sparked again, because that's where it first seemed to go, because it was very quick. It's easy saying, oh, it's clearly Edge, who most people are saying now, when you're watching it back slowed down. But at first, when nobody had access to images or anything like that, it felt like Bray Wyatt. So that's, we tweeted that out. And I tell you, Rob, it's had thousands of interactions. And yeah, we've got, how many comments have we got actually? Let's have a little tweak. What am I saying? Peak. I can't see the amount of comments here. Hold on. Let's have a look. What's going on there? Okay. Sorry for this delay, but in the meantime, please follow us at RN Pro Wrestling. All right, so we've got about 162 comments. I'm not going to read them all out, but I did mention that we'd read out some of the best. So basically, the main gist at first was it seemed like Bray Wyatt / The Fiend, after what he said on Twitter a little while ago, and it does feel like he's either coming back to WWE or he's showing up somewhere new. But then one of the top comments here we've got from at Dogwalker512, Chelsea Glover says, it's Edge, because they showed things that were part of a feud he had. In brackets, Guerrero, Angle, Hardys, Dudleys. Now, those are the four things I eventually noticed. Again, straight away, I didn't see him. A lot of people did mention, we did a few tweets on this, and a few people come back at different points. We were like, what can you notice? And someone else did bring up the Latino Heat license plate, Kurt Angle. A lot of people thought it would be Gable Steveson because of the medal, but it looks like the Atlanta medal that Kurt Angle would have won. And then we see definitely what looks like Jeff Hardy's armbands. We also see the Dudley Boys glasses with the tape in the middle. A lot of people really stretching there, saying it was IRS's glasses, which I don't think, even if they were bringing back the feed, they'd use IRS as a kind of symbol for that. But although, of course, it is his dad, I am aware. Yeah, those things. Now, there might be more interesting ones that come up. Now, to me, that does lead towards Edge. We also had from Bocce, is it? ELCACO00001. Just got to put the handle there as well. It's either Gacy or Edge. The person walking does not look anything like Bray. And then someone has basically come up with what looks like found footage here of the of Bigfoot. Raheen Khan at Raheen Khan 2207 says, I disagree. It seemed like Bray's shadow only. Watch that video again. The screen, the red light, the crow, the tree all relate to Bray Wyatt in some way or the other. Look at this picture carefully. But then most of the comments coming through saying it's Edge. A funny one from Ryan Amos at Amos Ryan saying, I know Wyndham Rotunda and I know his hand. And that is 100% definitely his hand, which a lot of people bit. And he later on come back and said, I did all caps on hands. The fact you think I was being serious is concerning. Because someone else had tweeted saying, bookmarking this so I can come back when it's revealed to be Edge, which is at MLB0123. Which, although might not have seen the joke Ryan was trying to make there, I think is making a very good point that this hysteria that builds up around Bray Wyatt and returns when it ends up being people like Edge is quite hilarious that it happens so often. And yes, bookmark these tweets because it's time to come back to them eventually. Go on.
So, right, look.
And thank you for everyone that commented, by the way.
Yeah. Look, I agree, right? Obviously, the first thing you think of, you see something spooky like that. If it ain't Taker, it's Bray Wyatt. Yeah, we know that for a fact. If it isn't Bray, then it would have been Eric Rowan or Luke Harper. Obviously, Harper's no longer with us. Brody Lee obviously passed. We know that isn't the case. I don't think Rowan would come back. I think if he was going to go anywhere, he'd go AEW to do the Dark Order stuff and fulfill Brody what he would have been doing, right?
Right.
Now, do you know what I mean? That I think he would have done that.
Yeah.
For him, Brody. Bray, maybe. But you know what? Saying about what you were just talking about, and they're doing all this cryptic stuff. Now, way back, oh man, maybe 10 years ago, something like that, Chris Jericho had really weird vignettes. And it wasn't a breaking a code one. It was like terrifying Undertaker type kind of things. And they had like Canadian maple trees and all this randomly like in areas and all that. And the vignettes went on for ages. And all of a sudden it made sense and it was Jericho. I get it if you're going to go down this road and you're going to do it with Edge because of the Judgment Day and all that sort of stuff, right? But this is what confuses me. Apparently, WWE wanted the Judgment Day to go into more of a spooky kind of feel, right? And like supernatural and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And go that direction. Edge said no. So they said, all right, basically, from what I read, they kicked Edge out or they removed Edge and then they gave it to Finn. And Finn led it. Nothing's happened with Judgment Day since. So if Edge is coming back and this is the aura that he's bringing back, then basically that's all supernatural stuff and the way they've done the design. So they've either allowed him to do the supernatural stuff, and it makes no sense, or Edge is coming back as something else. But if he's coming back all dark and mysterious, then he should have just bloody stayed with Judgment Day in the first place. I don't get that.
Yeah, so this, for me, if it is Edge, it feels like a reset to what they were doing Judgment Day as. And like, rumors are that Edge didn't like the supernatural thing. That's why they kicked him out. Again, we kind of touched on it on a build-up show for Money in the Bank. But it was a shocking way they did that reveal with Finn. I thought it was really good. But the fact is they haven't used them properly since. Edge ain't been around either. So bringing him back, it's a weird way to do it. But maybe it's a reset to be, because it's not so much supernatural. It could just be dark. You know, Edge was trying to be all metal. You know, that's what he was trying to be with his character. And it went slightly kind of supernatural with it, and then apparently rumor is that it was going very supernatural, and he kind of said, right, take me out of it. So he kind of needs his theme back for a start. It can't be Judgment Day's theme. He had built this character and they took it away from him, so it feels like it might be a reset if it's Edge. Also though, Edge makes sense because of the kind of clues and hints we've got there, especially with the Dudleys and with the Hardys. Like, you could say it could be someone else from that era, but who else is coming back to do all this kind of stuff, you know? So yeah, it might not necessarily be Edge, but I think Edge aligns up with the people that we kind of see reference and also the dark side. But that doesn't, how can Edge, it's hard for Edge. He turned heel. He needs to come back as a babyface now because of what happened to him. So it's like they've completely reset and they're going to just ignore Judgment Day or something. And Edge is coming back and going to just start again. That's what I'm kind of thinking it looks like. I don't think that's what it's going to be, but like, man, it's very confusing. But hey, this is what it's all about. It gets these kind of debates going. But I don't think it's Bray Wyatt. None of those clues make sense for Bray Wyatt. And yeah, they could go next week. There could be another one. There could be one on Raw that kind of hints at completely different people. And you go, and in the end, the person comes out and goes, these are all icons of the business, but they don't matter anymore. And it shows them breaking all these pieces of merch and whatever else. It weren't about those individuals at all. Like, next time we see Hogan's feather boa and some sequins off of Ric Flair's jacket and the Hitman sunglasses, and then they get smashed, like they all get smashed in the last reveal, and it was nothing to do with those characters. And also, someone else has said on here, what if it's more than one person? At the Cold Canuck says, what if it's more than one person? Great point as well. Who says it's not a group? Who says it's not? I don't know. It could be really weird. It could be a Judgment Day thing. But it weren't purple, so who knows? Really confusing, man. What are your thoughts as far as the whole Bray Wyatt thing?
Look, my thing was, the minute I see it, as I said, for me, I thought it was Bray until you started saying about there was this hidden and that hidden. It was late. I haven't actually watched it back since. So the only thing I've actually seen on it was the vignette. And it flashed by so quickly that I was like, it's got to be Bray. Like, that's the only person that makes sense.
Because of the style,
And do you know what else I think it was as well? There was specific noises that they only use for Bray's promos. Like special sound effects and stuff. And they only ever used them with Bray as like the what was he called then? the leader, or was it
Eater
of Worlds?
Yeah.
And it just seems like maybe they're going back to that. I don't know. As you said, yes, there is no connection, but I mean, there was a time when Taker kept cutting. All he was doing promos and kept cutting his hair. There was no connection to anything till we come back with a bloody Mohican. Like until we see it, we don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But look, if it's Edge, this is my thing, and I feel sorry for Edge because if we get all this build up and people are going, oh, it's Bray, and then it's Edge, are people going to be like, oh, well, I wanted it to be Bray? Do you know, like, are they going to be a bit like...
Yeah, I mean, they will. It's 2/21/11 all over again. You know, when we hoped it was Sting, but it was The Undertaker, you know?
Exactly.
It's a very risky thing, but they kind of make... Like, I feel like Edge as a person, just seeing from the way his character's gone, I feel like he would want these vignettes, and it makes sense. Like, a lot of it makes sense for Edge. But I think, man, you got kicked out your stable a month ago. Why we do? You're not coming back for, like, again, it's building up false hope. And although it's cool for Edge, it won't be a cool reveal if it's Edge at the moment, in my opinion. Another quick comment to get to here at Eric_champion says, that is Kurt Angle medal, Hardy Boys armbands, Dudley Boys glasses. Now, these are ones we didn't touch on. Brood candles, ministry rituals, and then again, going back to Latino Heat license plate and original Edge Titantron flashbacks. It's Edge. I did see a few people kind of mention it, actually, that it was quite similar to his original Titantron, you know, was running through the street and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, some really interesting theories coming up as well. But yeah, well, how do you feel like if it is Edge? What do you feel at the moment? That would, you know, how that would go down.
Again, if it's Edge, great, but do something with it. Like, actually do something with it and make it something. Stop doing these vignettes for us to go, oh, look, we're going to be invested, and because I don't like one way, like, wait and see. Like, Edge not wanting to do this, like, supernatural stuff. All right, get it. I understand. So you don't want to do it, but don't kick him out. Find another way to do it. Maybe just have, I need to say Punishment Martinez then. Maybe have, I am. Like, or Rhea do something. Or
yeah. Well, this is it. Like, if this was in 4 months, right? 4 months time, 5, 6 months, maybe even a year, and Judgment Day were being used and they were doing something interesting and wreaking havoc, then it'd be like, oh, he's coming back. Because it would be like this big bad kind of vignette. It'd be an exciting return. It wouldn't be someone that's been gone for 3-4 weeks. It'd be an exciting return, you know. So it'd be like, oh, Edge is fine. We know what it is. I hope it's Edge. Like breaking the code with Jericho. We all pretty much knew it was Jericho, but it was, what if it's not? And even if it is, my goodness, Jericho's been gone for ages. Hope it is him. You know, how everybody's feeling about Bray, it could be this way about Edge if it was in about 6 months' time. And like, you know, something really dark. Edge comes back as this real, because if Edge comes back now, you know, a month, 6 weeks later, going, I'm really dark and I'm going to get you. And oh my gosh, look what you did to me. It was terrible. Like, he can literally do that. He could come out on Raw and just do that. He doesn't need all these vignettes. So to make it this big, powerful, dark, mysterious Edge, time needs to have passed. It needs to be an actual return. Not, I ain't seen you for 6 weeks, because wouldn't have seen him anyway, because I don't watch the weekly. So it's not that exciting, you know? So it's a strange way to be bringing back Edge.
And the thing is as well,
go on.
Again, it's one of those things that I don't want to moan. Look, I get it. It's a great build and all that sort of stuff. But if this is Edge, then he's coming back for a reason. Obviously, it's for the Judgment Day thing, right? So that's Finn Balor. So let's say, for example, we get Edge versus Finn. Now, if it comes all the way back and Edge has this massive vignette, this whole build, and he's better than he ever was, and he's darker and he's meaner and all that sort of stuff, and he's filled with all this energy, and he loses to Finn Balor, what a waste of time. Like, there has to be something. There needs to be a bigger outcome. And as you said, Judgment Day are doing nothing. So Edge is building all these vignettes, they're doing all this sort of stuff. For what? Like, what's he coming back for?
Unless it's a complete reset and move you away from Judgment Day and they kind of quietly disband them. It's just, hey, but again, you know, I say it as if it's a negative, but look, we're excitedly talking about what it could be and what it could not be and stuff like that. So it's a good thing. Quickly want to get into a comment before we finish and wrap up on this subject and move on to the rest of the events for Money in the Bank. But we've got a comment from at Lisa Duncan 66. Had a thought, what if it's someone who wants to beat Edge, a teaser as to whoever is coming after, just trying to think outside the obvious box. And that's what we want to hear, actually, not just the same old, of course it's Edge, no, it's Bray. Yeah, maybe it is about Edge and it's not Edge himself. So they haven't
Someone
really done
wants to
something
be
like
Edge.
that before.
Kurt
Someone that
Hawkins
wants to
and
be
Zack
Edge.
Ryder.
But I mean, it's very outside the box, that one. But yeah, interesting thing there. Anything else you want to mention about this before we move on?
Look, other than I love the mystery. I love these sort of vignettes because it gets people talking, and conspiracy theories and all that, and the fan theories and all that go wild, especially on YouTube. And it's interesting. When we had it with Bray and all that different one word and then it meant something else. And I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. But don't ruin it. Like, actually make it something. Stop. Don't overproduce it. Make it nice and raw as it was. Keep it as it is. And let us enjoy it. Like, let us be invested in it and actually make it something. And look, I'll be happy. I just don't want it to do all that and then it goes to waste, like Judgment Day already has. Like, make something from it. That's my thing.
Very, very good points. And just kind of to wrap it up even further, actually, I got one more comment here from a quote retweet of Terrence S. Ellington at TS Ellington, who says, I've been reading this for Edge. I'm a fan of Edge. He's great, but he could just pop up in the middle of a match and crowd would love it. Why do a cool video like this for him? Which is a really good point. Kind of wraps it up what we've been saying there. Like, it feels like it could be a wasted thing. And I know, Adam Copeland, the man, probably thinks this is exciting and fun, but I think it might do more damage than good if it ends up just being simply an Edge return. To be like, hey, I'm the big bad moody Edge. Because is he going to be a heel again? Because even that, like, why is he a baby face? Like, I was excited to see what we were going to get from this new Edge, and they kind of killed it. So yeah, well, we'll see where this goes. But yeah, I think it's now time to move on to the next match.